Hello, welcome to another new video. Oh yes, Cougar 2 Works Classic. We're almost there. It's almost finished. So, gearbox is going in. Drive shafts going in. Oh yes, people. If you get to this point, do not forget to put the nut in the end of your drive shafts. Double check you haven't forgot, because that does happen. Yeah, it does happen. You go to put your wheel on and you think, oh, my wheel's not tightening up, because you forgot to put the nut in the end. Oh, that's not a pro tip. That is just something you should do. So anyway, they've gone in nicely. Let's get these rods on. These camber, I'm going to call them camber adjusting rods. Don't forget, these ball joints and sockets are a consumable item. They do wear. They might be really tight when you first put them on, but they do wear, so you can change them out. So if you're a regular racer and you'd like your racing, don't forget that you can change them. Actually, people have had them been popping off. The sockets have been popping off. Must be the steering. You can change them out. You can put upgraded balls and sockets on. So, but that's another video. We're concentrating on this build, and at the moment we are fitting the gearbox, and soon we're going to be fitting the shock absorbers. So yeah, there's not much to it really. It's only 4 screws underneath, 2 screws at the front. So very straightforward. Once you've got this far, you've virtually finished your build. Actually, virtually finished. Gearbox on, shockers on, wheels on, job done. You're ready to rock and roll. Oh dear, struggling. Told you, these are actually quite tight, these balls and sockets, but they do wear. Be aware of that. So if you do pop off, actually they shouldn't pop off when they're new. If they pop off when they're new, that's not good. But anyway, let's get back to the build. Yeah, I've had an issue with these. Countersink quality. Counter or sunk. Or countersink. But anyway, screw quality, countersink quality. I've really swung on these screws and they stick out the bottom. It's not very good. You know, when you're building your model, you shouldn't be thinking about upgrading the screws while you're building it. And you shouldn't need to upgrade your screws. I mean, it's very common now. People swap out screws for titanium or stainless steel. I mean, I do use stainless steel hex screws nowadays. They are very good quality. But then again, you come to build your brand new model, and the quality of the hardware which you're putting it together is an issue. It's not good, is it? I mean, the washers for the wishbones. I know washers are pushed and like pressed, but why? They're not even flat. Washers should be flat. That was an issue for the front end. And when we come across the countersinking for the gearbox screws, it's an issue. I mean, even the servo screws don't fully go flush with the chassis. It's not good. It's not good, people. Shouldn't really moan, but if I don't get these swapped out and take this racing, I'm going to have to tape up the chassis, because my club racing will be finished if I damage the carpet. Put it that way. So it's not good. I'm going to have to tape it up or get a chassis protector to cover the screws up, because once the scrutineers look at it, they'll go, well, you're not racing that with them screws sticking out. And I know I won't. So I'm grass. Grass is fine, but carpet, no. I mean, smash it down in the comments what you think. Do you think that the quality of the countersink or countersunk quality on the chassis isn't good enough? Why should we have to buy extra screws because they stick out? Why should we have to buy an upgrade? It's an upgraded screw. Shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to. It's all up for debate, people. It is a debate. It's opinion, okay? It's opinion. But we shouldn't have to upgrade screws because they don't go flush. And I'm talking, I know I'm ranting, sorry, it's a rant. We shouldn't have to upgrade the screws on a new model because we take it to the club to race. Scrutineers look at it and go, nah, you're not racing that here because your screws aren't flush. Get some tape on it. Get some carpet tape. Oh, yeah. Get some carpet tape on it. Funny. Pardon the pun. Carpet tape on your chassis. Yeah. So anyway, let's not dwell on moaning. Let's get these screws in. I mean, when it comes to it, I do swing on these screws and I do try and get them in, but they don't want to go. But never mind. Never mind. What I'm going to do while I'm doing my video, I'm going to post a still of how much these stick out. And you can see for yourself. I know it's very difficult to see on the video, but let's not get carried away on moaning. Okay, people? Let's not moan. Let's have opinion. We are not moaning, it's opinion. So anyway, we have got the gearbox that is in. We've got wishbones that move very freely. Very nice, very nice. There's nothing wrong with that friction-free movement. That is going to work nicely with the shock absorbers. So, standard at the moment, shock absorbers. They are very good, actually. I have got some big balls I was looking to put on, but at the moment, these are the original ones you get with a kit, shockers. If you build them nicely or correctly, yeah, correctly, they do fit. They do work very nicely. So anyway, let's get the. Oh yes, this is the bag with the covers for the nuts on the shock absorbers. Yeah, the what are they? The carbon fiber shock towers. Where you put your nuts in to hold your shockers. These are the covers, so it looks nice and neat. They used to put these on the original. They do make the model look a lot neater with a bit of trim. Technically, it's a bit of trim on your model. So let's get that bit out of the way. I mean, there's so much stuff, isn't there? I mean, how many people have got stuff left over from the build? I mean, I've put a few upgrades on this, so I've got a bit of a pile. I've got a bit of a pile of leftover stuff. But yeah, it's quite interesting actually. Let's think about my upgrades for a minute. What have I actually upgraded on this? I've changed the yokes for the alloy yokes. I've changed the shock absorber housings for alloy purple ones. They look okay. What did I change? Yes, I put the tiny bearings inside the drive shafts. That was another upgrade. That's about it, I think. Oh no, clutch. I've changed the clutch. That's another upgrade. I changed the. Oh, what else did I do? I've slightly modified the steering and the servo. Yeah, because I like my. If you can see my anodized blue servo horn, that is from an aeroplane, an RC aeroplane servo horn. They normally use them on ailerons or rudders or even throttle. So the alloy, a nice alloy anodized servo horn there. Very good, very nice. I'll have to show you my servo fittage yeah, I'm gonna have to show you that in another video. It's very good. I've actually brought the servo down. It is actually touching the chassis because my servo technically is a mini. It's not as big as a standard servo. It's slightly smaller. I think it's designed for helicopters, yeah, and aircraft. It's slightly smaller. It's very fast, extremely fast, which is awesome. But anyway, because it's slightly smaller, the servo horns, not the servo horns, the mounts for the servos lift it up too high, and it doesn't, it's like a funny angle, it doesn't fit. So I've had to bring the servo down to touch the chassis, which makes it line up with the steering assembly a lot better. So that's a video on its own, that people. That is a video on its own. And I would call it, because it's not a standard thing on the model, I'm going to call it an upgrade. And it's just a coincidence that it's purple, that servo. Just a coincidence. I actually got several, those servos. Got them in a few models. They are a bit rich, about £80 each, but they are very good. Very nice model of a servo, that, very nice. Yeah, so anyway, let's not talk too much of the rubbish. Let's get these trimmed up and on. Yeah, I noticed the I'm not saying the quality of the molding of the tree stuff is bad. I'm just saying that it's just like you're building a kit, model kit. All the stuff is mounted on trees if you chop it off, which is very old-fashioned, isn't it? Very old-fashioned. Where you get your molding, you have to cut them off. Do people bother doing this? I mean, I'm being a bit precise. I don't know if other people bother doing this. I mean, normally you just like cut it off, smash it on. But this has been a bit fussy, to be fair. She's a little bit too fussy. But anyway, spacers. So, shockers are very, I would say the shockers are quite quick to swap out, shock absorbers. Now, if you want to modify your, what's it called? Your setup. That's the word I'm looking for. If you want to modify your setup, it's actually quite quick to change your shockers out. It's not a big job, especially if you do it on track day and you think to yourself, "Ooh, I want to get these swapped." It's not a difficult job to move your shockers on your tree. It's not a difficult job. Very quick. But anyway, this is almost done. We've got what we got. We've got 2 shockers to put on. Let's get these on, people. So if you followed the video so far, the shock absorbers are very straightforward to put together. I mean, they are classed as a varied shock because you can adjust them on the inside, but that's a very messy job. Yeah, mine are set to 2 holes. 2 holes. We've got 500 oil in the front, and we've got 450 in the back. They hopefully I will be able to set them to droop a little bit. I want my car. I've put quite hard springs on at the moment because I'm going to test this outside on concrete and tarmac, so I don't want to damage too much on the chassis. I'll cover it up actually, get some tape on it, cover it, and I'll take it outside for a bash. So yeah, so I want to set my droop to about 25%. I don't want it to drop too much. Normally set that with your spacers, your droop and your spring. So we're almost there then, people. This video, gearbox on, shockers on. Oh, all those upgrades, people. We've got alloy yokes. We've got, oh, look at the actual purple servo looks identical to the chassis. Never realised how close it was. Yeah. Anyway, we've got, I was running through the mods we've got on this. So we've got alloy front yokes. We've got alloy shocker housings. We've got the alloy, purple alloy wishbone mounts underneath. What about those? We've got different modified gearbox. Oh, they are eBay. Those ones, they are alloy bearing housings. Yeah, they were eBay ones. I think I might swap them out for the purple ones. I think I'm going to use my alloy ones from this model on a different model. So I might go for the purple ones. I may as well keep it all the same and don't have any third-party modifications. So that's it then, people. I think we are about there. Look at that. Let's get these nuts on. We've been messing around too much. Let's get it done. Get it on. Yeah. So this is virtually ready. We've got the motor to put in. What else we got to put in? Motor, battery. Oh, yes. I'm going to use a standard battery. I'm not using a LiPo battery. And I've got to try and work out how to mount it. I want to go sideways and I want to go just behind the servo. So that's going to be an issue. Because I don't think the battery mounts that you get in the kit will allow me to do that. It might be able to, but I think most stuff's designed for LiPos. I think I've tested the position for my standard NiCad and it will fit at the back, but I don't want it at the back. I want it to be slightly behind the servo. I want it to go sideways as standard. Just for the balance, I like a nice balanced model. That's going to be a job. Yeah, so that's it. That's a bit tough. Shock absorbers, as you can see, are a bit tough. I've got tougher springs and I've got 2 spacers on. Anything can change, people. Anything can change. So, thank you very much for watching and laters.